guys, here we are again with the episode of the ongoing Vino rod. Hey, all right, well, I've got to a point with my shifter console that I've made a decision that I'm going to stop for now because of my gate shifting stuff. So let me get you over here, show you what I got going on, and we'll go from there. All right, so I did install that lever there that was off that piece of a farm equipment. So I'm still working on that issue where I'll run that rod down there and, you know, spring loaded, pull the rod up, pull it out of the top of this cover plate. So the reason why I've stopped is because you can see it, the transmission's moving, right? Well, when I bolt the engine down, I'm not sure if it's going to pull that anymore or I just don't know which way it's going to pull it. So when I start cutting on this top plate here, where I'm going to end up cutting into here with my reverse gate, and then I'll be able to come out of this because of the heim joint that's on that shifter, and then down and then into this drive gate. And then this is my first gate. And then I'm going to probably be able to put second over here. So I'm going to stop now because that's going to change. If that transmission moves any, that's going to change how this fits in that gate. Okay, so I'm going to stop with that. Well, you can see that I've got my neutral safety switch where I'm going to mount that. So let me get you over here, show you some other things that I'm going to start working on since I'm going to be stopped with that. Okay, so I've got my grill shell on, which I'm pretty happy with the fact I was able to slide it on and not really causing too much grief around those horns there. But as you guys realize that those are bands off of wine barrels. And then that's a 1950 Italian made bottle opener right there. And then before I was mentioning that I bought that 4-link setup, and I've used it in several different places. This is part of the 4-link deal where you can get a better look over here. And it's got a cup. So what's kind of cool is that this 3031 Headlight Bucket, fits down in there, and I can move it. I can move it around and seat it really well because of that little round pocket there on that 4-link setup. Okay. And then this was another item that I was able to use for my motor mounts. And that was part of the 4-link deal. And you can see that what it gave me, by using part of that 4-link action and adding those gussets in there, I'm using this. You can see I've got 3 adjustments? I've got the end adjustment, then I've got this adjustment here to the block, and then I've got that adjustment there. So that worked out really well by not using the 4-link stuff that I got out of Speedway, and was able to use it on the motor mounts and the headlight buckets. And then I was able to use it for my ladder bars. So that really worked out well, purchasing something and then reusing it for something else. So what I really want to probably do is focus on maybe this grill. I want to get it sanded down, putty it up, and eventually I'm going to want to paint it a flat black. I think I'm going with flat black with the grill shell, with the front cowl. And then I'd like to go with the body to be stained this. I don't know if you're really going to be able to see it in this video. I just like that color, so go ahead and stain the car body with that Cabernet color. Then on this back piece right here, I know I was mentioning, I ended up using 64 Impala taillights. Worked out really well because I built this before I knew what kind of taillights I was going to run, so you can see it works out really well. Then I've got my trunk area that I've got to finish. I want to get my fuel tank in here, and then my panhard bar, I got to get that, but I got to get my fuel tank in before I can get my panhard bar in there and adjusted. Got to get a rubber mat because my fuel tank's aluminum. I want to put a rubber mat down so I don't have any of that dielectric stuff happening. Some of the little standoffs I made. And then you can see my gas cap. Worked out really well. This top section here, I used every stave. And it was a pungent barrel is what they call it. It's a little bit bigger than that first barrel you see out in, people making planters out of them or trash cans or whatever. So here's one of my issues. I've got to redo this section. Try to get that glare out of there. You can kind of see how I tried to put this framework together here. So I've got to I've got a little hand planer, and so I'm going to have to take the hand planer and take these edges off, square them up. Then once I get them square, I'll be able to hang it, and I'm going to be able to glue it, and then I'll be able to put a screw in here. And I'm just going to pin, put some some plugs in there, like I did in those areas. So that's where another little item that I got to take care of. So I'm going to probably end up going with this Wine Thief. As you can see, that's what this whole car is about, is probably in that direction right there. This whole car is kind of like a wine-themed car. You can see I can get out of the glare. Those are all wine barrel bands that I used to create the seat backs. And then another item that I end up using is a wine bottle for my overflow. So that right there is a wine from the Sonoma Valley, B.R. Cohen's winery. And he just happened to be the manager for the Doobie Brothers, which is cool. All right, so this week I'm going to get on it. I'm thinking I'm going to probably start here to get this worked out, because I've got to get my my radiator mounted in that. So got to do the firewall. I'm going to flat that firewall out, and this little checkerboard, I want to do a checkerboard on the firewall, and then I want to probably follow that checkerboard on to that part of the car. Okay, guys. Well, like always, like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll catch you on the next one.